Princess Aeryn Valeth of the Xyraen Empire had rejected 37 suitors. Not quietly, not politely, publicly, decisively, and sometimes humiliatingly. The Xyraen court had stopped announcing formal engagements years ago because every attempt ended the same way, with Aeryn standing tall before the assembled nobility, her silver eyes unwavering, her voice steady as she dismantled yet another carefully arranged alliance. "I will not marry for politics," she had declared during the last ceremony, her voice echoing through the crystalline throne chamber. "I will not bind my life to someone chosen for convenience, power, or tradition." Gasps had rippled through the court. Her mother, Empress Solara, had remained composed, but her fingers tightened ever so slightly around the armrest of her throne. "You speak as though you have a choice," the Empress had said calmly. "I do," Aeryn replied. The room had gone still. "No," Solara said softly. "You have responsibility." Aeryn met her gaze. "And I will fulfill my responsibility to the Empire," she said. "But not by sacrificing myself to a stranger I do not respect." That had been the end of the discussion. Officially. Unofficially, it marked the beginning of a quiet crisis within the Empire. Because Princess Aeryn was not just any royal. She was the last direct heir. A culture built on bonds. Among the Xyraen, marriage was not simply tradition. It was biology. Their species evolved through bonded pairs, two individuals whose neural and genetic compatibility created stronger, more adaptive offspring. Over millennia, this process had become ritualized, refined, and ultimately controlled by the ruling class. Matches were calculated, optimized, perfect. Love was unnecessary. Aeryn rejected all of it, not because she didn't understand its importance, but because she refused to become a calculated equation. "I am not a variable," she told her advisor, Lettiz, one evening as they walked along the luminous gardens of the palace. "You are the most important variable," Lettiz replied gently. "Then perhaps the system is flawed." Lettiz hesitated. "You are asking an entire civilization to change." Aeryn stopped walking. "No," she said. "I am asking them to allow one person to choose." The discovery of Earth. The Xyraen Empire had been observing Earth for decades. A primitive world by their standards, but rapidly evolving. Chaotic. Unpredictable. Interesting. "They form bonds without calculation," Aeryn said, studying human data streams projected before her. "Yes," Lettiz said. "And their success rate is inconsistent." Aeryn smiled faintly. "They choose anyway." "That is because they lack the precision we possess." "Or because they value something we have lost," she replied. Lettiz did not answer, because he knew she was right. The assignment. When the council proposed direct contact with Earth, Aeryn volunteered immediately. Not as a princess. As an observer. "You wish to study them?" the Empress asked. "I wish to understand them," Aeryn replied. "And you believe this will change your stance?" Aeryn met her mother's gaze. "I believe it will confirm it." After a long silence, the Empress nodded. "Very well," she said. "You will go." Arrival on Earth. The Xyraen vessel entered Earth's orbit undetected. Advanced cloaking technology rendered it invisible to human systems. Aeryn's mission was simple. Observe. Learn. Do not interfere. She took on a human form, subtle adjustments to her physiology, allowing her to blend in seamlessly. And for the first time in her life, she stepped into a world where no one knew who she was. The man who changed everything. His name was Daniel Hayes. And he was ordinary, not a leader, not a genius, not someone history would remember. He worked as a paramedic in a busy city, spending his days responding to emergencies, saving lives in quiet, unrecognized ways. Aeryn noticed him by accident. She had been observing human interactions in a hospital when he rushed in, carrying an injured child. "Stay with me, kid," he said urgently, his voice steady despite the chaos around him. Aeryn watched as he worked. Focused, determined, unshaken. Later, she followed him. Not out of strategy, out of curiosity. Middle, the uncalculated bond. Daniel lived a simple life. A small apartment, few possessions, no visible ambition for power or status. Yet his days were filled with something Aeryn had rarely seen. Choice. Every action he took was his own. Every decision, unpredicted. Aeryn observed him for weeks, then months, and something unexpected began to happen. She didn't just study him. She began to understand him. The first conversation. It happened on a quiet evening. Aeryn had grown careless, standing too close, watching too intently. Daniel noticed. "You've been following me," he said, turning toward her. Aeryn froze. Humans weren't supposed to notice. She began. "Relax," he said, raising a hand. "I'm not calling the police. Just curious." She studied him carefully. No fear. No hostility, just curiosity. "I didn't mean to intrude," she said. "Well, you did," he replied, though not unkindly. "So why?" Aeryn hesitated. Then, for reasons she didn't fully understand, she told the truth. "I'm trying to understand people." Daniel blinked. "That's a pretty big project." "Yes," she said. He smiled slightly. "Well, you picked a weird subject. Learning humanity." Their conversations became frequent, then regular, then expected. Daniel talked about his work, his struggles, his past. Aeryn listened, asked questions, offered perspectives that were sometimes strange, but always thoughtful. "You don't think like anyone I've met," Daniel said one night. "That's because I'm not like anyone you've met," she replied. He laughed. Fair enough. Aeryn found herself experiencing something new. Not calculation, not analysis, but connection. The conflict within. Back aboard her vessel, Aeryn reviewed her findings. Human bonding was inefficient, unpredictable, emotionally volatile, and yet powerful. "Your observations are becoming biased," Lettice warned through the communication link. "Or more accurate," Aeryn replied. "You are becoming involved." Aeryn didn't deny it. "Return to the ship," Lettice said. "Your mission parameters." "My mission is to understand," she interrupted. "And I am." "At what cost?" he asked. Aeryn ended the transmission. Because she didn't have an answer. The truth revealed. Daniel found out on a rainy night. They had been arguing. "You keep dodging questions," he said. "About your past, your family, everything." Aeryn looked at him. Really looked. At the human who had somehow become important. "You wouldn't believe me," she said. "Try me." Silence stretched between them. Then, she stepped forward and let her form shift. Her human disguise dissolved, revealing her true self, silver skin glowing faintly, eyes shimmering with alien light. Daniel stared, speechless. "I am not human," she said softly. No reaction, no panic, just stunned silence. Finally, "Okay," he said slowly. "That's a lot." The impossible choice. Aeryn explained everything. Her world, her people, her purpose. "And you're the princess?" Daniel asked. "Yes." "And you came here to study us?" "Yes." "And now?" Aeryn hesitated. "I don't know." That was the truth. For the first time in her life, she didn't have an answer. And, breaking the system, the Xyraen Council did not wait forever. When Aeryn failed to return, they acted. A massive vessel appeared over Earth. Visible, undeniable. Panic spread globally. A single message was broadcast. Princess Aeryn Valeth will return immediately. Daniel looked at the sky. That's your ride? Yes. You going? Aeryn didn't answer. The confrontation. She returned to the vessel, to her people, to her mother. You have delayed long enough, Empress Solara said. I have learned what I needed to, Aeryn replied. And what have you learned? Aeryn met her gaze. That we are wrong. The chamber fell silent. Our system removes choice, Aeryn continued. It removes uncertainty, but it also removes something essential. Emotion, the Empress said dismissively. Connection, Aeryn corrected. Connection is inefficient. So is life, Aeryn said. And yet it thrives. The final stand. I will not marry as commanded, Aeryn said. You will, the Empress replied calmly, or you will be replaced. Aeryn took a breath, then said the words that would change everything. I have already chosen. Shock rippled through the chamber. Impossible, the Empress said. He is human, Aeryn added. Outrage erupted. A primitive, one counselor shouted. Unacceptable, another cried. The Empress raised a hand. Silence fell. You would abandon your species for this? She asked. Aeryn shook her head. No, she said. I would change it. The human who stood beside her. Daniel didn't expect to be taken, but he was. Transported aboard the vessel, standing now in a chamber of alien beings who viewed him as a lesser. He felt it, but he didn't back down. So, he said, glancing around, this is the part where I'm supposed to prove myself? Aeryn looked at him, surprised. You don't have to do this, she said. Yeah, he replied. I do. He turned to the council. You want strength? You want worthiness? He said. Fine. He gestured toward Aeryn. She chose me, he said. Not because I'm perfect. Not because I'm optimized. But because I'm real. Murmurs spread. And I choose her, he added. Silence followed. Heavy. Uncertain. A new definition of worthy. The Empress studied them both. For a long time. Then, she spoke. Our kind has always defined worthiness through calculation, she said slowly. Her gaze shifted to Aeryn. And yet, you have chosen without it. A pause. And you stand by that choice? Yes, Aeryn said. The Empress looked at Daniel. And you? He nodded. Yeah. Another pause. Then, something unexpected happened. The Empress smiled. Epilogue. A future rewritten. The decision shocked the Empire. The princess would not be forced. The human would not be rejected. Instead, they would become something new. A bond not calculated, not predicted, but chosen. Aeryn stood beside Daniel, looking out at the stars. You realize, she said, this changes everything. He smiled. Good, he replied. It needed changing. She looked at him, at the human who had done the impossible, who had not tried to impress, not tried to dominate, only to be himself. And for the first time, the princess who had sworn never to marry felt no resistance at all, only certainty, not imposed, not calculated, but chosen.